Karma truly exists, and it is really real indeed. I want us to learn a lesson from this. From the video I accidentally stumbled on yesterday, in which this man was lamenting from the depth of his heart. He was very bitter and overwhelmed by sorrow and lamentation. Who am I talking about here? I'm talking about this man called Akomolafe Bankole Heinrich. Akomolafe Bankole Heinrich. For so many of you, or for some of you who didn't know, this man played a great role by his comments and even actions in the demolition of people's properties in Lagos State. Properties that were mostly, let me say, 70 or 80% owned by the Igbos in Lagos. And this man did a whole lot of things. That yesterday when I watched the video, it was the video that showed how his own property, worth over 150 million, was being brought down by the Federal Capital Territory Authority in Abuja. And Bankole was lamenting, was down, was finished. And let me read his statements for you. He said here, and I quote him, "I am heartbroken and hungry. Yesterday, Saturday, my 150 million investment in a poultry farm located in Lokogoma, Abuja, was destroyed by the guys from FCDA. No warning, no prior notice, just pure distraction." And I laughed. No warning, no prior notice, just pure distraction. And I was forced to ask myself, when the Lagos state government, motivated by people like Bankole, instigated by people like Bankole Heinrich, destroyed the properties of people in Lagos State, did Lagos State issue warning? Most of them, they just went there unexpectedly, and then began to pull down the property of people. That was how the people whose properties were brought down, destroyed, lamented also. In fact, Bankole, you're talking about your own property worth over 150 million naira. It is just a drop compared to what other people lost in Lagos State. That was instigated, motivated, inspired by you. Now, what has happened that very day? I wish I saw that video that very day. I would have mocked you very, very well. I am not happy about what is happening because I am a human being too. But since you all promote rascality in that zoo you call Nigeria, God Almighty will always have a way of paying you rascals back in your own coin. Now you see how painful it is for somebody who has lost all his sweat, his labor, his everything. You were very happy to bring down their properties. You were very happy to demolish them. The Igbo cried a lot. That was what you instigated, inspired, you fueled amongst your people to do to my people in that Lagos State. Today, you are now claiming how you legally bought the place and whatever. And the people demolished your own property are saying that it was a wrong location and that you did not fulfill all the requirements you claimed to have fulfilled. Bankole Heinrich Akomolafe, that is just a tip of the iceberg. How I wish other people can always learn from this. It is not something that in life, you will just see evil and then take sides with evil. Even when the Igbo, a lot of them bought their property legally, land, developed it, and did everything. You all came down there under the guise of whatsoever policy, and then you demolished their property. Today your own was demolished, or that very day Your own was demolished in Abuja there, and you came out and began to cry. What you must have lost there is not even up to 1/100th of what the Igbo lost in Lagos. What you inspired. In fact, if I want to go back to play most of the things you said, your utterances, in fact, it's not something that people will look at you as a human being at all. You see, now you are not even regarding the people who destroy property as those guys. They did not give you notice, they did not warn you, they just destroyed it heartlessly according to you. Now you can see how it is. Anyway, I want us to learn a very big lesson from that. For those of you who saw what happened that very day, that is just how life is. People cannot sweat, people cannot go through pains to try and erect a structure to build something for survival for themselves. And then you go there and then you destroy it out of hate, incurable hate, deep seated and deep rooted hatred. Today, when that happened to you the other way around, you are now complaining and grumbling. Well, it is just the beginning. And I remember the question he just asked. He said, how can this happen in a country where I followed every legal processes? Bankole, what legal processes did you follow? Anyway, that is just it. I also watched a video in which one Islamic scholar, Sheikh Yahya, I think Sani Yahya Jingirim or Jingi whatsoever. And a lot of you must have come across that video in which that Islamic scholar was speaking in Hausa language, trying to blame, the hike in fuel or the fuel price hike on the Christians. And what was he preaching there? He was preaching that the Christians are the ones who are making fuel price to go up. Can you hear that kind of nonsense? I've always said it that nothing you will find in the Islamic scholars than hate. Nothing they preach than hate. Islamic scholars in the north preach nothing but hate. Pure hatred. That is simply what you find in them. They don't preach the teaching, condemn the government, telling them what is right and what is wrong. What you just hear is pure hate. Pure hate and pure bigotry is what comes out of their mouth. That is what they preach. And I want to ask that so-called Sheikh Sani Yahya Jingirim or Jingin nonsense. Who are those appointed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as management of the NNPC board? Now, I want to mention some names here for you, and then you ask that so-called Sheikh Sani Yahya Jingirim, the people that should be blamed or that should be responsible, for the hike in fuel price in the country. If that man can understand what I'm talking about here, please tell that Sheikh Sani Yahya Jingirim or Jingirim rubbish to go and find out. Where is Melekiari from? He is part of the NNPC board there. Who is Umar Ajia? He is part of the NNPC board. What about Musa Tumsa? Musa Tumsa, yes, is part of the NNPC board. What about Gali Mohammed? Gali Mohammed is part of the NNPC board. What about Professor Mustafa Aliu? He is part of the NNPC board. I think about 5 of them are from the north there who are part of that NNPC management board. Apart from the Chief Pius Akomo, I think Akinye Lure, something like that, that's the man's name, is there. And then Miss Eunice Thomas and then Dr. David Obodo. Understand? Apart from that, the rest are Northerners. So if you want to look at it, who should be the people behind the fuel hike in the country? And in case it does not, I don't really get him clearly. Could someone ask that Sheikh Sani, Yahya, whatever, to provide a more context or detail about how the Christians make fuel to be expensive in the country? That is just what you hear from them. They keep preaching hate, nothing but hate. Even when they are perpetrating the heinous crime, the most atrocity in the country, they keep preaching nothing but hate. Somebody should ask that man to go and find out what is happening and then keep talking nonsense. Enough is enough. We won't take that again from any rascal so-called scholar. Enough is enough. Somebody should call him to order.